Hi friends! So today we'll do some hip opening and yin practice. I like to have all the props available, so if you have yoga blocks, bolster, strap, blankets, you might find those helpful. So we'll start in Virasana, Hero's Pose, and that looks like this. So I'm on my shins. I'm going to have a block underneath my bum. And heels are outside my outer thighs, booty area. You can take your hands and lift up through your inner ankles. If this seat is not comfortable for you, you could take easy seat, cross-legged, or however you want to start. We'll just be here for a few minutes. So close your eyes, rest your hands. Pubic bone turns down. That's going to bring in the natural lumbar curve to your spine. Spine is tall yet not rigid. Gaze is soft off the tip of your nose, or eyes are closed. Jaw is soft. And then turn inside and bring the focus to your breath. Lengthening your inhales and exhales. As your mind wanders, bring your attention back to your breath. On your next inhale and exhale, see if you can lengthen it by a count or two. Matching your exhalation with your inhalation. Keeping your steady inhale and exhales, now focus on the space between the breath. Maybe pause and linger there, and then begin your inhale or exhale. One more deep inhalation and exhale. Open your eyes. You'll come off any props that you have. And then the next pose that we will work into, we'll start to get into that hip opening. So stepping your right foot forward, Your back knee will be down, so if you like a little padding there, go ahead and take that. I know that I like it padding. And then you'll lean forward and potentially bring a block inside your front knee. Your front knee will line up over your ankle. It might come forward a touch. You're trying to square your hips as much as possible to the top of your mat, which means the outer right hip might hug back as you kind of drag this left hip forward. Keep the back toes tucked, and then bring your forearms down to a block. This will be various settings depending on how flexible you are. Some of you may be able to take the forearms down completely. Keep hugging the front knee in toward your body versus letting it splay out. So choose where you want to be for a few minutes. This will bring deep sensation into the front of the left hip. So see where you might be holding tension. Maybe you're clenching your jaw to pick up for that sensation in the hip. So relax your jaw, relax your gaze down. And breathe. You can close your eyes. And if you feel like you've reached your edge at 100%, I want you to back off your edge so that while we hold this pose for the next few minutes, you're finding your edge through your breath and through this natural opening that will happen as we hold our poses. See where your body is not able to release and send the breath to that area. Keep hugging your front knee toward the midline. Let your jaw be soft. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Set your hands down. Sit your hips back. Maybe straighten your front leg for just a moment. And then switch sides. Right knee comes back. Left foot steps forward outside the block. Back knee scoots back. Good. Root your foot down, knee stacks over ankle. Hands come down to your mat, forearms to a block or all the way down to your mat. Notice that my left knee is not coming out. I'm still hugging it in. Trying to square my hips forward. Relax your face. Close your eyes and settle in. Honoring the difference between the sides, that's just natural. Stay in tune with your breath. And focus on the breath like we did in the beginning meditation, where you're matching your exhales with your inhales, and you might even be able to focus on the space between the breaths. So pausing there and counting for 2, and then moving on with your breath cycle. Notice if you're clenching or trying to engage the front of the hip. Just let that soften so you can really enjoy or breathe through that deep sensation that your hips are offering you right now. Left knee hugs in. Pelvis is heavy. Inhale breath. Exhale breath. Good. Plant the hands. Straighten the front knee for a moment. Good. And then set the props off. We'll come to a seat. I'm going to just bring the floor to me a little bit for my seat, just to stay in proper alignment. So you might stack 1 or 2 blankets, or even sit on a bolster. So both legs will be straight out in front of you. And then keep your right leg straight, bend your left knee, and bring your foot inside the right thigh, knees stacking over ankle. Legs are not touching, they're hips width distance apart. Take your hands by your sides and scoot your sits bones back to bring your pubic bone down. And then that brings the lumbar curve back into the spine. Okay, so from here, you can have your right hand on your shin, spine is tall, inhale. And then you can take your left hand to the right side belly and help yourself twist to the left. And if you feel like you have more space to twist, you can wrap your right arm around the front of your shin. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, look back. Pubic bone still faces down. So if you're having a big rounding in your back, you need more padding under your sits bone so that your pubic bone can come forward. Good, and then unwind. Left leg forward. Right knee bends. Foot roots in front or inside the left leg, sits bones apart. Hands by hips, scoot sits bones back so pubic bone goes down. You can drive your left heel down, right arm, fingertips reach back. Inhale, get tall, low back in and up. Exhale, twist. So hand might come to shin or wrap around. And look back. Scapula firm on your back. Eyes can be closed, gaze can go back if that's okay for your neck. And you can take your right hand to the left side belly and help it twist to the right. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Good. Come forward. And then take your, let's bend the left knee. And your arm goes inside the shin and outside the foot. And then just pull the left knee back. So just work with this kind of straightening and pulling. And then from there, kind of really feel the femur, top of the femur head moving in the hip socket. So it's a ball and socket joint. Good. You can even lean back a little bit. And then as you come forward, take the foot, click the toes down and cross the knee over your right knee. So knees are stacked. Left hip draws back. You can even take your hands again, pubic bone back. Good. So knees are stacked. And then you should feel this right here, outer hip and even in the back of the right leg. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, just hinge at your hips. If you're trying to reach your foot and you're not super flexible, you might be rounding, but I just want you to stay upright. And then notice if you're trying to reach your foot by jutting your neck forward. So pull the sides of your throat back so the thoracic spine, the top of the spine, moves forward versus like your neck jutting out. And then breathe here. You can close your eyes. Notice where you go when sensation gets spicy. Do you want to escape or focus on everything around you? Can you take the focus inside? Continue to have that beautiful breath practice that you did in the previous poses where you match the inhale with the exhale. Perhaps focus on the pause between the breath. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release. Good. And then walk your hands up and switch legs. So this time left leg long, right knee draws in, catch the outside of your right foot and then hike it back and stretch it forward. The leg doesn't have to straighten, it can just be here. Good. Now lean back. You can take the shape with you. And then come forward and rotate from the ball and socket joint up the hip. Click toes down. Left leg straight. Pick sits bones up and sit back. Knees stack as much as possible. Click toes down. And then hinging at hips. Remember, we're not reaching with our throat. Sides of throat pull back, chest leads forward. Honor the difference between the sides. Low back in and up. And breathe. Notice where your body wants to hold on to tension. Send the breath to that area and then just relax the muscles of your face. Relax shoulders down. Focus on the space between the inhales and exhales. The pause. Inhale breath. Exhale breath. Good. And then come on up. We'll come down to our back. Bring your knees into your chest. Take some circles. And then take the feet down. Sits bones roll forward. Right leg over left. You can stay here or take eagle, full eagle legs. So binding the right foot behind the left calf. Actually, before we do that, pick up your hips, move them to the right a little bit. Now draw the knees into your chest. Take them over to the left. And then you can roll all the way to your left side, and that might feel great. Or you'll kind of peel this right armpit back. You might notice your knees move a little bit and try to finagle your shoulder blades flat on your mat. It doesn't matter if they're not flat, mine are not. And then take the gaze right. Or maybe you can get a deeper twist if you don't do the double bind on the legs. So whatever feels best. And then take your gaze to the right. Notice if your right hip is coming into your waistline. See if you can lengthen it organically toward the short end of your mat. That might even help your knees come down on the left a little bit more. And then roll on to your left side. Take the gaze over and unwind the legs. Come back. So readjust here. Draw your knees in. And then left leg over right. Pick up hips, move them to the left a little bit. Take a single or double bind with the legs. Draw the knees in toward the belly or the chest, and then take over to the right. You can go all the way to the right, or start to pin the left shoulder blade back and down. Maybe you decide at that point you want to unhook the feet so you can get yourself into a deeper twist, and then the top of the left hip organically goes toward the short end of your mat, and your pubic bone still presses also toward the short end of your mat to keep the natural curve in the lumbar spine. Gaze to the left, close your eyes. Focus on the space between your breaths. Inhale breath. Exhale breath. Good. Roll all the way to your right side. Come back to your back. Draw your knees in, and we'll set up for Shavasana. So you might decide you want legs up the wall. You could take Shavasana here, or if you want more of a heart opener, you can take a blanket and roll it up into a nice thin burrito. And you'll bring it to the upper back, or actually kind of the shoulder blade area. You just want the blanket coming out from your armpits. And this will provide just a nice gentle chest opener so that you can still feel really relaxed in your final resting pose. So just choose what that's going to look like. If you have lots of time, you can cover yourself up with a blanket, eye pillow. Maybe take your head side to side. And then clench all your muscles, your fists, your feet, hug muscle to bone. You can even like scrunch up your face. Inhale. And then exhale, let it all go. And now just focus on tuning inside, dropping in quickly to stillness. To complete relaxation. Let the floor or the earth support you as if you're being held, and let gravity win. Relax your jaw, and then just act as if the breath is like breathing. It's like the body is being breathed by your breath. So it's just natural rounds of breath. And everything expands, even the belly on the inhale, and then everything softens on your exhale. Like I said, please stay here as long as you can. And I will see you next time on your mat. Namaste.